First and foremost, all praises are due to Yahweh, and Bah Hashem, Yahweh Shai, and Bah Hashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and bishops of Great Millstone for teaching us the truth. Salutations to the brothers around the four corners of the earth who are teaching this word in truth and sincerity. And shalom to the hopeful elect, a few men, women, and children that believe in this word. This is your brother Kwat Sabah coming at you again with another lesson. This will be a short one. This one is entitled, "The Father of the Cell Phone Predicted the C-HIP 2 years ago," meaning he predicted that the C-HIP would be embedded in our skins. All right. So let's read the name of the title of the article. It says here, "The father of the cell phone predicts we'll have devices embedded in our skin next." Now we have the cell phone. You have the QR code on the cell phone. Years ago, you just had a regular phone in your residence. Now everybody, from the mother, the father, the kids, the grandchildren, the grandma, the aunts and uncles, everybody has a cell phone, their own personal number. You couldn't have told me years ago that when we had a phone in our residence that eventually in the future, each one of us would have an individual telephone number. So let's read this article, name of the article again. It says, "The father of the cell phone predicts we'll have devices embedded in our skin next." That's referring to what, of course? The C-HIP, the MOTB. Revelation 13, verses 16 and 17. So let's get a little information about this guy here. It says here, who is he? Martin Cooper, a.k.a. the father of the cell phone and former head of Motorola's Communication Systems Division, and the first person to ever make a call from a cell phone. Now, we know this is a thing called gradualism, all right? So everything has been a gradual step towards the MOTB. All roads lead to the MOTB. So they had to get you used to the cell phone and dependent on the cell phone in order to bring the last phase of their plan, which will be what? To try to convince you, you know what? We can put this chip inside your forehead or your hand, and you don't have to worry about the cell phone anymore. You don't have to worry about your cell phone getting lost. You can get into your car if you get locked out. All your medical information will be on there. Social security number, all your records will be in one place. Let's read this right here. It says, "What's the big deal? In some abstract way, we can probably connect that fatal call of yesteryear with our crippling phone addictions of today," because people are addicted to their phones, and in particular, the young people. It says here, Cooper had a vision for communication and pushed for the cell phone while competitors placed their bets elsewhere. In fact, the push for a mobile phone was one bred from urgency. At the time, Motorola's competitor, Bell Labs, was focusing its efforts on the car phone. That concept didn't fly with Cooper. He felt that a cell phone ought to be an extension of a person. It ought to be with the person all the time. So you can see the seeds, okay, that this guy helped to breed as far as a cell phone being part of a person, an extension of a person. Now, we know that many of these innovators and these scientists, they've been backed by the elite bankers of the Edomites, all right? So he couldn't have came up with the money or the vision or the plans to get the cell phone going without the backing of the elites of the Edomites, the international bankers, those who want to bring in the NWO, and the main centerpiece will be, of course, what? The MOTB. Let's read this. So in 1972, he set out to create a mobile phone that could fit in your pocket. While the whole pocket thing was subjective, okay, because they were brick phones back in the day, by the next year, they had a functioning cell phone system. On April 3rd, 1973, Cooper made the first call of many and dialed up his counterpart at Motorola's competitor, Bell Labs. All right, let's continue reading. Cooper spoke with NPR, National Public Radio, about the inaugural call and how rapidly the world has changed since. It says here, let's read this right here. On overseeing a rapid evolution in technology. It says here, we knew back in 1973, this is Cooper speaking, that someday everybody would have a cell phone, and we're almost there. 2/3 of the people on Earth have one, so we had a joke that said that someday when you were born, you would be assigned a phone number. So everybody has a phone number, all right? And most likely, it's probably well over 2/3 of the people on Earth have a cell phone because this article was done in 2023, all right? It says here, he says here, if you didn't answer the phone, you would die. We never imagined that there would be a thing called the internet. That didn't exist in 1973. Digital cameras did not exist in 1973. The large-scale integrated circuit did not exist in 1973. So there were breakthroughs that have happened that we just could not have imagined. So what now? Cooper predicts that AI will continue the revolution in how we communicate. And they have the AI system already set up. Everything is ready to go. The only thing is the MOTB, the chips are not online yet. They have them ready to go. All right? They're all prepared. They've been created. It says here, the cell phone, Martin continues, the cell phone is going to become a part of you. Parts of the cell phone will be embedded under your skin, like the prophets, the men of the Lord have been saying all along. You won't have to charge a cell phone because your body is a perfect charger. You ingest food and you turn it into energy. So there are so many improvements yet to be made in a cell phone. All right. So he says there that the cell phone is going to become a part of you, embedded under your skin. Let's get the main scripture, of course, Revelation 13, which you should be familiar with if you've been listening to this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from Great Millstone, from Elder Apostle Har on down. So let's go to Revelation 13 and verse 16. And he causeth all the elite bankers, the international bankers, those that run the world, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now, they're going to try to do it on a voluntary basis at first, you know. Volunteer to get the chip. You see what I'm saying? We'll put some money on there, universal basic income. You'll be able to get free food. So they're going to bring out a nice advertising campaign to try to convince you voluntarily to get this chip. Now, many people are going to buck them, and then that's when they go into plan B, which is the concentration camps, try to reprogram you to get the chip, so on and so forth. Some of us who are part of the elect, who are not ignorant of Satan's devices, are not going to take this CHIP. Some of us will be beheaded, okay? You know, we'll die, you know, we'll stand stiffly for the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. And if you do that, you're not going to take this CHIP. All right. So it says here, let's read this, Revelation 13. Well, let's get a definition of that word mark real quick. Okay. Let's go into the word mark. I have the Blue Letter Bible, the interlinear. Let's see what it says here. Get a little deeper with it. You know, the elders and apostles have taught us to look up words. It says here, charagma, okay, in the Greek, charagma. That's what the name of the, in the Greek is, of the mark, charagma. It says here, a stamp, an imprinted mark. Let's go a little deeper. It says here, a scratch or an etching. Now, you know that when you go to the doctor and you get, they put a needle in you, okay, for whatever reason, okay, you might have to get a TB shot, of course. Those of us who are part of this truth, we did not take that jungle juice during the C-19 period, but when you get a shot, it's a scratch or an etching. All right. Same with, getting a tattoo. It's something that's pointed, and when they give you the tattoo artist, it's etching, it's scratching your skin. So this is also relates to the mark of the beast. Matter of fact, most likely they're going to have tattoo artists, and they're going to set up the chipping centers. Most likely they'll have them issuing or putting the chips in people, the ones that accept it. Let's go a little deeper. Let's go back here to, it says here a little deeper, the karax in the Greek, all right? It says from karasso to sharpen to a point. It says here a pale or stake. So it's going to be a small chip, you see, like a stake that they're going to go ahead and use with the instrument, kind of like the tattoo artist, that little small pale, that stake, the size of a rice grain, and they're going to have the machine to put that right in your skin if you accept it. Like I said, the elect are not ignorant of Satan's devices. They're not going to take that chip, okay? And we're willing to die, Lord willing, I'm part of the elect. We are willing to die than to take that C-hip, because that C-hip is certain death. For one thing, you can get cancer. They did a study on the RFID chips that they put in mice and rats. And what happened was many of these mice and rats, they ended up getting cancer. And that refers to, in Revelation 16, the grievous sore. As well as they probably can turn the chip off, turn the chip on. You don't know what they can do once they put that thing inside your skin. You see? So on that note, I want to, you know what? Let's continue reading this right here. It says here, Carasso, the sharpened to a point through the idea of scratching. All right. So on that note, I want to give all praises to Yahweh and Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Radash. I hope this short lesson was edifying to you. Shalom.